Hi and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going over my family's total debt journey for the year of 2023. So let's get started. All right, so let's break it down into the categories and kind of just go over what exactly happened in the year of 2023. So the total amount of debt coming to 2023 was $120,305.72. And at the end of the year, we are now at $114,915.08. So our total debt progress, or the amount of money that was made towards the balance, was $5,390.64. So for the year of 2023, we actually had three debt categories. We had student loans, credit cards, and then a car. So for the student loans, which is the bulk of our debt, it was at $100,631.61. That was again coming into 2023. It is now at $99,595.07. So for the year of 2023, we paid $1,036.54. Next, we're going to move on to credit cards. So we had a balance of $1,121.89, and our current balance is $0. So we were able to pay off the $1,121.89. And then lastly, we have the car. It is a 2017 Honda Odyssey. We purchased it for a total price of $18,552.22. We are currently at $15,320 and a penny. So we, for the year of 2023, paid $3,232.21. So I'm guessing that for some of you watching this video, it's kind of a scoffable amount to think that a family only paid about $5,300, almost $5,400 towards their debt, and that they have, six figures of debt because it's over $100,000. But I want to remind you that it is not a priority for my family, and this is also this is our case. This is our family, and it's not equal to anybody out there. It's not to say that aggressively paying off your debt is wrong or aggressively paying off your debt is the right move. It's dependent on the individuals who made their decision as to why they got into debt and then how are they planning to pay it off. So I just wanted to put that caveat out there because I really think it's important that we have videos talking about debt and different debt situations, because there's such a large number of us who have debt that it is honestly going to be kind of surprising if there's not somebody else who's in a similar situation as I am, which is that they have student loans and a car payment. I also want to just break down really quickly the math behind it. So again, for the year of 2023, we paid $5,390.64. So if I divide that by 12, we roughly per month we're paying $449.22. Again, that's towards the balance. So I'm not counting interest. And the reason why I don't count interest is because one, it is essentially the fee that I am paying for not paying for those things out in cash. So that's just like the expense of having a debt. And two, it's because the math wise, it's just really annoying. So for me, it's just so much simpler and easier to just pay attention to the balance. And with that said, I do want to point out that I made a mistake in the November video. I stated that we paid off a smidge over 20%, and we actually didn't. We paid 17%. The reason why I thought it was 20% is because when I was doing the math, I wasn't paying attention, and I ended up just doing our total payments across the loan. So that also includes the interest, and that is why I messed up those numbers. So yeah, again, as I mentioned before, some of you guys are going to realize, and if you've been watching my videos, you're going to realize that in my family's case, debt payoff is not our priority, and that still remains the case. So for the year of 2023, it was both my husband and I's first year together being 1099 contracted workers. So we don't have any W-2s to fall back to. So we have to be in charge of paying our own taxes. We have to be in charge of paying our own health insurance. And then we have to be in charge of our own business fees. And so we hadn't yet had a full calendar year to figure out how much money can we reliably pay ourselves and how much money is going to be covering those other expenses for, having your own business. In the year of 2023, we learned a whole lot more about health insurance because that was our first year really taking use of the marketplace for the full year. And now we know that it was not the best plan that we had chosen. And so for 2024, we actually are going to be on a more expensive health insurance plan, at least on a monthly premium basis. But we're actually being saving a lot more in out-of-pocket costs in terms of how much we were paying co-pays for visiting the doctor, as well as how much our medications were. Another thing that we learned in 2023 was that it was our first year having both of our kids in daycare. And although we were kind of expecting our kids to get sick, we weren't expecting them to get sick as often as they ended up actually getting sick. And so that kind of threw a wrench in a lot of our plans in terms of what we were going to be paying, etc. Because again, both of us are 1099, so if we don't work, we don't get paid. And on top of that, we learned the hard way that our insurance plan sucked. And so every time we visited the doctors to take our kids to be tested for flu, strep, etc., it was over $100 every visit. And again, we kind of visited a lot. So now we know, and for 2024, our medical healthcare costs should be a little bit lower. Another thing is that for 2023, we did not also have any passive income streams. And again, it was just relying on our 1099 contracted work. But now let's talk about 2024 and how things are going to be changing. All right, so for 2024, we have a bunch of life changes. And the first life change is that I will finally be charging people for doing my financial coaching. So for the year of 2023, I was doing a lot of events locally in town and helping people one-to-one for free, just so that way I can gain experience. And now that I have gained experience, it is time for me to start charging people. So for 2024, the difference is going to be that I will now officially have a side hustle where I will be charging people for the services of talking with me one-on-one and helping them figure out their debt mindset, their money story, and then how do we create a money plan to help them do what they feel is the priorities for their money. Be on the lookout for that because that's going to be something on the radar. Another thing is that I do want to create some passive income streams, so I will be taking on affiliate links and offerings. Right now, I will be taking my YouTube video scripts and then turning them into blog posts, and I do actually have one affiliate link that I finally got accepted into, which is super exciting. And so I will be doing a blog post on that and potentially a series of videos on something that I think would be helpful. So while it would be really cool in 2024 if I passed the threshold and was able to turn on monetization for these videos, it is not a priority for me because I am focusing my energy on that side hustle of financial coaching and doing one-to-one instead of putting all of my time and effort on YouTube videos. So with that said, I just want you to note that this is not changing anything in terms of the YouTube videos. I am still on track to put out one video a week, and I found that a really good balance because there was actually opportunities where I could have posted more and I decided not to, which allows me to see how my time is being managed. And so I actually do have time to coach people one-on-one. Life change number 2 is that my oldest kid will be starting school in August, which means that daycare expenses will go drastically down because now we'll only be paying for one kid being in daycare. So the game plan for that money is to take some of that money and use it for extracurriculars, and then the other part of that money is going to be used towards whatever our current money goals are. Life change 3. So if you haven't paid attention to my videos, at no point have I mentioned that we have a mortgage because we don't. We're currently renters. But that will soon be changing potentially within the next year or 2. And so we need to start saving our money for a down payment, either to buy a house or to build a house. So that is a new goal and a new priority for us in my family's current situation. Life change 4. So we are currently on the Save Your Payment plan. So until September of 2024, we have a 0 debt to payment towards our student loans. That will definitely be changing. And so we will be taking the money and actually having a new additional debt, which is towards student loans. However, I can't even gauge how much our student loan payment is going to be yet. So I'm just waiting for September when they tell us a new amount, and then I will be reworking our budget. Life change number 5. Well, I'll be turning 30 in 2024, and so I am going to be having a celebratory party where I will be hanging out with my husband and maybe my cousin in Vegas, and so we are saving money for that. So with all those life changes, where does that leave us and our debt repayment story? So again, I don't think for the year of 2024 it's going to be a major priority. Yes, we will continue paying off our debts as is required of us because we do have a monthly minimum payment, but we also will be throwing a little bit extra here and there where we see fit. So we will be making additional debt payment progress, but it's not like, it won't be a whole lot. Not like other videos and YouTubers out there who are aggressively paying on their debt. We are definitely not aggressive, so we are just doing what we can and kind of just playing with our numbers and getting a better feel for how things are going. Our bigger goal money priority is, again, saving up money for a down payment, and so we are going to be more focused on saving money and probably investing money, especially because our interest rates are so low. Again, our highest right now is 6.35%, and that's for one student loan, and it's got like $1,000 left on it. So once that's paid off, then all of our student loan debt is at like 5.5% and lower, which is fantastic. And so for us, that's not a main priority. Another thing is just honestly, we're not making a big amount of debt payment per month. So when we eventually become debt free, it doesn't really change like things for us that much because we're not aggressively paying towards it. It's not like a huge portion of our income. And so that money instead is going to be used towards buying another new to us, which means used car, because at some point we're going to have to replace the minivan, and we are for sure definitely going to have to replace the Honda Civic that we bought as a cash beater car. In terms of the car, so this year we paid off 17% of that car. Next year, like even if we're not that aggressive with paying it off, it should be about 20%, so like a total of 37% of that car should be paid off by the end of next year. We'll see if we pay off more, I'm not sure, but again, I'm guesstimating like 20%. Another thing is that my family is not debt adverse, so you notice that we don't have a credit card payment, and that's because we are religiously using our credit card and then paying it off. So there might be a time where we'll have a balance, but then it'll be paid off before the statement date, and so I just don't count it because we generally don't pay interest on it, and we generally just don't have a balance on the card. So yeah, that's just personally how it is for my family. Feel free in the comments below to tell me about your story. I think it's really important that, you know, as a community, we talk about money, we talk about debt, because I see on the internet a lot of guilt being held over having debts, and then a lot of sort of like hyperfixation on paying off debt. And while for some people that benefits them, in my family's case, that would drive us crazy. And so I think we need some more examples in the world of a more lax approach towards paying off debt, and also a more strategic approach and seeing how people are using their money for other things in their life, because it's not all about debt. Money gives you opportunities, money gives you the ability to live how you live, your lifestyle, whatever you value in terms of like where you want to spend your money, etc. And so I think it's time that we have more creators out there, including you. So please, if you do a debt video for yourself, tag me in it. I'm more than happy to watch and subscribe, just so that way we can again have more examples out there. Because again, while my scenario might be different than your scenario, I am so sure that there's somebody out there who also has like 100,000 student loans and a car payment and nothing else. So to that person out there, hey, I'm in the same boat, let's hang out and let's share our stories, because I'm sure we can learn from one another. So yeah, that's it for 2023. We made some progress, yay. Hopefully in 2024, we'll make even more progress. And if not, that's okay too, as long as we are making progress. So until the next video, I'll see you. Bye.